Hello and welcome to our Prenatal Pilates series. We've got quite a class for you today. We're going to start in lying supine and do the double leg stretch because we haven't done that yet in this series. We're then going to go onto our side. We're going to do a side clam and then a side plank with a straight leg lift. We're going to go onto our fronts and do dog bird and then cat cow. We'll do the other side and then we'll close with our shoulder bridge with two varieties and then do a little stretch. As always, we're going to start our session with a mantra that we can take in to the week. I overcome challenges with ease because I'm strong and resilient. I think we might have had that one before. I'm going to have to shuffle these properly next time. I overcome challenges with ease because I'm strong and resilient. In fact, I think that might have been last week's, so let's have a second one. It's always good to have two, whether it's last week's or not, it's always good. Let's just shuffle the pack and pick one at random. Here we go. I nourish my body and mind with nutritious food and loving thoughts. I nourish my body and mind with nutritious food and loving thoughts. I like that one. I'm starting to feel better. The nausea's been unbearable. I'm very pleased to say it's starting to ease. And so I've started to try and have more nutrition because when I was nauseous, I could only eat carbs and toast and potatoes. So starting to feel much better. I'm going to choose to do some of these with a band, but you get loads of benefit from without doing it with a band, so don't worry if you don't have one. So if you could come into lying supine. So lie on your backs, feet hip width apart. Take a deep breath here. Lie nice and tall, so imagine a gold thread coming up out of your head and pulling you nice and tall. And then roll those shoulders back into little back pockets, those shoulder blades into little back pockets. Arms by the side and another breath here. I'd like you to place your hands on your pelvis area, and I create like a little triangle like that, and just tilt your pelvis back and forward. And you can imagine a marble in the triangle of your hands, and that marble's moving around. And slowly you want to bring that marble to stillness in the center of the triangle, and that's finding your neutral spine. I'd like you to place your hands around your waist. I'd like you to engage your deep core muscles. So imagine you've got a belt on, you're tightening that belt, tightening it, tightening it, tightening it. That might be harder to do if you're further along in your pregnancy, but it's perfectly safe to engage those core muscles. You still want to engage them because they are supporting your growth, so it's very important. You want to be engaging your core muscles throughout these exercises to about 20 to 30%. And now onto our pelvic floor. I want you to just imagine you're closing up the back passage and then bring it forward and pretend you're not having a wee. Tighten everything up, hold it really, really tight and pull it up, 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 as tight as possible. And then relax to about 20 to 30%. And again, we'll be holding that throughout. And then finally, hands on your rib cage. Take a deep inhale. Expand that rib cage as though you're opening an umbrella and back down again. So really nice expansion from the rib cage here. If you can hear a noise, it's the wind. It's a really noisy wind, really windy day. And we've got a fireplace here, so I can hear the wind in the fireplace. Very windy. Okay. Right, nice. If you're a beginner, you may just do the first bit, which will just be taking the legs into tabletop, and you don't need to do anything with your arms at all. So completely up to you, but if you'd like, you can join me on the full progression. So nice deep inhale. On your exhale, engage that pelvic floor and take your first leg into tabletop. So you want a nice 90-degree angle here and a 90-degree behind your knee. We're going to imprint, which means think ribs to hips, so inhale, exhale, engage the core muscles, engage the pelvic floor, you're really protecting your spine, and bring your second leg into tabletop. Excellent, well done. Now inhale, on the exhale, raise your arms directly above you, and we're going to start creating small circles here. So if you're a beginner, you can just stay in tabletop, and you can use your arms, or you don't have to. But if you'd like an optional progression, I'm going to take an inhale here, and on an exhale, one leg at a time, we're going to take them out to that double leg stretch. So legs nice and stretched, and my toes are in plantar flexi, so pointy toes or good toes if you ever did ballet. So you're engaging your pelvic floor to that 20 to 30%, and you're engaging your deep core muscles, your transverse abdominal muscles, to that 20 to 30%. And you're creating little circles with your arms. So just imagine on the ceiling now, if you look up to the ceiling please, and imagine you're creating little saucers, like tea saucers. You've got little cups of tea, you're having a tea party, a Mad Hatter's tea party, and you're just circling those little saucers. And as a parent, you do feel like you're spinning plates, so this is just a bit of practice. And now I'd like you to slowly just start to increase your circles, increase your plates to dinner plates. Got some dinner plates that we're circling. And just remember to engage that pelvic floor to 20 to 30%. Draw it up, draw it up, draw it up, and engage those deep core muscles to 20 to 30%. Keep breathing, nice deep breaths. I'll do it with you. And we're just going to change the direction of the arms and the hands. And just remember to keep your legs up and straight and in plantar flexi. So just draw your attention to them for a moment in case they've dropped slightly. Good job. And again, now we're just going to increase those circles and increase them to big serving plates. You're now having a party, or your guests have arrived at the Mad Hatter's tea party and you're going around with some canapes. So big circles here. Keeping those legs lifted and nice and straight. And now we're just going to reverse the circles again. Nice big dinner plates here. Excellent job. All right, now when you're ready, we're going to slowly float the arms back down to your sides, and one leg at a time, we're going to draw it into tabletop, and one leg at a time, float down to the mat. And here we're going to have a lovely full body stretch, my favorite stretch. Oh, that's nice. Wonderful, so onto our sides. Now, as I said, I'm going to use my band, but don't feel you need to. We're going to start being pretty chilled on our side. We're going to be in a bit of a beach pose. So we're just going to lie there on our forearm. Nice and comfortable, you should be comfortable. So you should have a sort of straight line from your hips to your shoulders. And then I've got my knees stacked on top of each other. My elbow under my shoulder, and my hand, my supporting hand, is on the floor. This hand can be used for support in front of you. And if you ever want to use a block or anything to help with support, then please do. And we're just going to do some open clams. So here we go. And just lift and float back down. Lift and float back down. Nice and easy. So you can see a bit of resistance if you do have a resistance band. Does just add that little bit of work to it, which is helpful, but not needed. You still get benefit from this exercise without bands. And if you're doing it right now, thinking I'm not really getting a huge amount of benefits, just wait until we progress into our side plank with a leg lift. Then I think I'm going to keep the band on, but I might have to take it off. So enjoy it while you're not stressing your muscles too much now. But I can, just with this band, I can already feel that it's that slight extra, the resistance creates that extra work in the glutes and down here, which is great. And this is great for your inner thighs as well. It's nice to try and tone up this area. As I said, I didn't really do any exercise for 3 months, the first 2 months of pregnancy. You know, getting down the stairs to get my toast was the most I could achieve in a day. So I'm building back up my strength. You know, I felt like I got soft and sluggish and lazy and lower energy, and didn't like the way any of that felt. And while of course I have a growing bump for the baby, which is wonderful, there's that, but then there's also that bloatedness you get that's just uncomfortable and not very nice. And so I really do want to get back into making sure I commit to this Pilates. So thank you for helping me to commit. I want to be doing it more often. And I'm going to, now the weather's getting a bit nicer, I'm going to start swimming as well, which will be really nice. Okay, 2 more here. I can certainly feel it. I hope you can too. Lovely. Good job. I just want you to tap that out in case there's any tension there, because if there's not now, there might be in a minute. I can feel it right there in the glutes. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is come up, oh sorry, not that much. We'll use our knee as I'm just going to come forward slightly because I can feel, oh no, it's my weights behind me. There we go, we just push the weights back and we'll be fine. So we're going to come up, but still on the knee. We're coming up in the side plank. And I'd like the top leg to be straight, please. And we're simply going to do lifts from here, okay? So we're not doing rainbow. We're not doing rainbow. We're just lifting above, directly above. And I've got my toe and plantar flexi, so I've got a pointy toe. Keep that hip lifted. Keep breathing. Okay, just 2 more now. Well done. Sorry, last one. Well done. Okay, come back down. Good job. And just hit that out if you need to. Now I can feel that on my inside, this side as well as the outside. So that's a really good extra stretch. And we can build up the number of those we do over time. Okay, if you have a band on, you can take it off now. We're just going to go into all fours for our dog bird. So, all fours, so your knees should be under your hips, your hands, wrists should be under your shoulders. And we're going to take a nice deep inhale here, and exhale. I'd like you just to re-engage your core to that 20 to 30%. So you might have a little bit of lift there in your abdomen. I'd like you to engage your pelvic floor to that 20 to 30%. And another breath, please. Good job. Now this time, we're going to take a breath, and on the exhale, we're going to draw out one arm and the opposite leg. And this is our dog bird, or superhero is another phrase for it, supermom. So inhale, exhale. And we alternate. So inhale, draw it back, exhale out. It might be easier to have your eyes down on your mat. So imagine there's a really interesting painting on the floor, a mosaic perhaps, and you're looking at the intricacies of the mosaic. Good job. One more each side. Good job. Okay, I'd like us to stay on all fours because we're going to do the cat-cow. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale and go into our cat, and exhale into our cow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So as you inhale and you go into that cat, imagine you're creating a C shape or an arch or a rainbow with your spine. As you go into that cow, you're doing the reverse. This one is particularly good for pregnant women. Helps with your back. So if you're experiencing any lower back pain, then I encourage you to do this one more often. One more. Good job. I'd like you to come back into child's pose, please. So my toes are together, my bottom is on my heels or between my heels, tummy between the thighs, and arms stretching forward, hands stretching forward, head down on the mat. Oh, good job. Okay, we're going to go on to the other side. So you can face the other way or turn around like I am. You might want to turn around like I am so you can still see me. I'm putting my band back on, but don't feel like you need to. And we're going to start with our more relaxed pose, which is keeping, oops, folded up my band, keeping the hip down. So my elbow's under the shoulder, my palm is facing down, this hand's here to support my knee. We kind of have a straight line here, my knees are forward, knees stacked on top of each other, ankles stacked on top of each other. Nice deep inhale here. And on the exhale, lift that leg. Good job. Here we go. So with your own breath, but do keep breathing. And this is a sort of bent knee lift. We could have done the clam, which is when we keep our ankles together. And you can, and just carry on, but I'm just going to show you, you can keep your ankles together on the floor and do this, which is a very good exercise, or you can lift your ankles and do this, which just slightly change the challenge of muscles that you're doing. But for now, we are just doing the bent knee lift, and I'm a big fan of the clam, and we do the clam. I'll probably do it next week with you, but it's good to get that variety and good to do different things. So today, that's why we're doing this. If there's any exercises you particularly enjoy and want me to incorporate, then please do let me know. Or if you have anything that's particularly sore or a bit tight and you want me to focus on those areas, then I'm very happy to. Okay. So 2 more here. 1 more. Good job. Okay, just slap that out if you need to. And then we're just going to lift and come forward slightly. We're going to lift the hip off the ground, and we're going to straighten that top leg, and we're simply going to do top leg rises. So deep inhale, exhale, lift. With your own breath, make sure that hip stays off the ground, nice and raised. With your own breath. And 2 more. Last one. Good job. Well done. Whew. So, band off, and we're going to close with our shoulder bridge with 2 varieties. The first one's going to be arms over, and the next one's going to be a 1-leg shoulder bridge. So, lying supine, so lie on your back, and just with the setup here, feet flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, but it might be slightly more comfortable with shoulder bridge that your heels are slightly closer to the bottom than with your 100, for example, but only a tiny bit. Deep inhale here, please. Remember your setup, head nice and tall, neutral spine, engaging your deep core muscles, engaging that pelvic floor, and deep breathing where you expand that rib cage. Well done. We're going to inhale, and on our exhale, we're just going to tilt the pelvis, nothing else. And the next time, we'll come up into the shoulder bridge. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, tilt that pelvis. And then relax it. Good job. Inhale. Exhale, tilt that pelvis and follow through one vertebrae at a time, very slowly into that shoulder bridge. So it should be a nice slow progression. Okay, now if you're a beginner, I'd like to take an inhale here. Let everyone do this together. Inhale here. Exhale, very slowly bring that down, one vertebrae at a time, the pelvis being last. And again, inhale. Exhale, tilt the pelvis. Peel off the ground like we're peeling off sellotape. If you're a beginner, please keep doing that. If you'd like to progress, we're going to go overhead with the arms. So inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And I'd like you to do a couple more of these. One more. Good job. Inhale. And on the exhale, one vertebrae at a time, come down with the pelvis being last. Good job. We're going to do this again, but this time the variation is going to be lifting a leg up. So do it with me now. Inhale. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, one vertebrae off the time at a time, very slowly peeling off the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, lift one leg up to the sky. Now, if you can, have a completely flexed foot, so your toes towards your shin, with a straight leg, jolly good. I'm not flexible. If you've been watching the videos, you know that. I'm not naturally flexible. Love to get more flexible with your help. But I can't have a full straight leg and a flexed foot. So that for me, good enough for now. I can feel that this is a stretch. So if you can feel this is a stretch, brilliant. Make sure that we keep our hips lifted though. Okay, and then we're just going to bring that down and exchange it. And in fact, let's do 3 pulses each time we exchange. So lift it up, 1, 2, 3. Down we go. Lift it up, 1, 2, 3, down we go. Make sure you're engaging your core, engaging your pelvic floor, and breathing. One more each side, please. Good job. Final breath here. Exhale, one vertebrae at a time, pelvis last, until you're on the mat. And then we can do a nice full body stretch to begin with. But then what I'd quite like us to do is do a bit of a spine twist. So I'd like you to take your top leg, I'd like to move it over. So you've crossed it over, your hips are on the side. I'd like to put your arms out and face the opposite direction to your knee that's out. And that's a lovely spine twist. In fact, you can just help that knee, lift it up slightly and push it towards the floor very gently, sort of touching it behind my thigh. That's a lovely spine twist. This really opens up the chest. Just breathe into that for a moment, please. And then we're just going to rotate to the other side if I have enough room. There we go. So my under leg is straight, my top leg is folded over, I'm pulling that knee, my arm is out, and I'm looking the opposite direction to my knee. Deep breath. Feel those muscles relaxing. Well done. Just while we're here, I'm going to get us to do my favourite because it's so effective. So I'd like you to put one ankle on the opposite knee. I'd like you to draw it up and clasp your thigh behind the thigh. I'm just going to move that slightly. And then with the opposite elbow, push against that opposite, push against that knee, sorry. So you're pushing away the knee and you're drawing the thigh towards you. And this is such a nice stretch for your glutes. And we were working the glutes particularly on the side, but also in the shoulder bridge. So it's really nice to be able to stretch out those glutes. It feels lovely. And it's also stretching the inner thigh, which we worked on those side exercises. So this is a lovely one, just to stretch out. Good job. And then we're just going to alternate. There we go. Oh, so that feels really good. I can feel there's, you know, a bit of tightness there, and this just stretches it out. Lovely. Well done. We're going to do one final stretch for your hamstrings, and then we'll do a manifestation, and then we'll close. But I'd love to hear from you. So if you want to share anything about your personal journey, ask any questions, please do. And I also welcome suggestions, and criticisms are fine too. I'm sure you could think of loads of those. I just do this for fun. So if you could sit on your bottom and bring your foot to your inner thigh, the opposite one, your other foot out straight, and we're just going to draw ourselves down the shin. So if you can clasp your hands behind your foot and put your head on your leg, great for you. I can't do that. So I'm just going to draw the head down and just draw myself, particularly if you've got a much bigger bump, you're not going to be able to do this. If you have got a much bigger bump, if you could just do this for me, that's really nice. But if you don't have a bump yet, then we can just go down slightly, and I'm just going to hook my toe slightly just to, oh, there we go. I can feel that hamstring stretch. So we're just going to do a few seconds here. Good job. I'm just going to move to the opposite one, and then we're done. So foot into the thigh. Now I have a very tense ankle on this one, so I'm not going to be able to clasp my foot, even my toe, but I am just going to work my way down towards the ankle here. So I'm touching my ankle, drawing my head towards the knee, breathing. As long as you can feel a stretch in the hamstring, then brilliant, but you're not looking to, you certainly shouldn't be in pain. If you are, then please stop. You should just feel that stretch behind the thigh in your hamstring. Good job, well done. Okay, so we close with a manifestation. So this is to, again, take us into the week ahead or your weekend, wherever you're at. See, I knew I hadn't mixed these because that was the one from last week. So you know what, let's just take them out and pick one from the middle. Decide what you want and then let it go. Surrender to the manifesting journey. Okay, interesting. So decide what you want and then let it go. So it's saying don't think about it obsessively and chase it aggressively. It's saying just think about it, like decide it, make a decision, and then let it go. And the manifestation of it will allow that to come to you. Okay, decide what you want and then let it go. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you next week.